embroiled in a scandal over an election. Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan has welcomed an opportunity to be cross-examined by Tom Moyane. Gordhan is also planning to bring his own application. President Cyril Ramaphosa promises more money to fight gender-based violence. He's described the issue as a national shame. And in your sport, SASCOC is racing against time to secure financial backing ahead of next year's Olympics. It's just after 7 o'clock. You're live on News at Prime. It's a pleasure to have you with us tonight. Now, the ANC in the city of Tshwane wants Mayor Stevens Mokgalapa to fall on his sword. It's after an alleged sex audio tape was leaked over the weekend. The party also says it will be laying criminal charges against those that flouted tender processes in the municipality. Well, we're joined by the ANC's Dr. Kgosi Maepa. Thank you so much for your time tonight. You certainly seem to be making a good meal out of the scandal, whichever way it goes. You've long been calling for Stevens Mokgalapa to resign. Why do you believe that this is the ammunition that you needed to finally make that happen?
Good evening, Cathy, and also to the viewers of maybe as ammunition, because the African National Congress has said from the beginning that the executive mayor of the DA, as we have correctly characterized him, is a gimmick. He's somebody with schoolboy errors, inability to govern. But now what has come out really is what many of the people in the city have told us, that there is no focus on service delivery for our people. Instead, what happens are shenanigans in the city. I mean, this is a very disappointing act, or maybe from the audio itself. The things that we have heard there are things that we don't even want to talk about. So we are not excited about this, but we are worried that our city has landed in the hands of people like that, that instead of pushing for service delivery, we have a problem of electricity in areas like Lodium, Itireleng. We have a big problem of water in Hammanskraal, that people are drinking dirty water. We have a problem of electricity cuts in Soshanguve and Mamelodi. Atteridgeville is dirty more than ever before. But instead of all the problems of our people being solved, and we have older people now paying for services, water, electricity in the city, instead of all those problems being attended to, we have to unfortunately deal with a sex scandal of a mayor and MMC. I mean, undermining the city. By engaging in sexual activity during office hours and in municipal offices. So this is a disgrace, really. It's something that has shown that the DA has lost the ethical, moral high ground to govern. And it is something that we think should be, there should be consequence management to it, to a point where both of the individuals, adults who are concerned, should actually look and introspect and look into their conscience and make the right decision, because they can't be at the helm of the city and continue to do activities that are unspeakable, like engaging in sexual activity during office hours in the offices of the municipality.
So you seem to be pretty sure of the fact that this is in fact a sex scandal. Of course, many who've listened to those audio recordings may not necessarily agree with that position, but you seem convinced that in fact it is. Earlier, one political analyst, Ivan Sorokinski, was telling us that this idea of a sex scandal is certainly not unique to South African politics, and as scandalous as it may be, you may perhaps be blowing it a little bit out of proportion.
We're not blowing anything out of proportion. The executive mayor has not, since the scandal came out, said that it's not him in the audio tape, or the person, the lady who was involved.
But he has
never said that it's not them.
But he has said that he was not involved in any sexual activity.
Look, I don't know. I'm not coming here to talk about involvement or not involvement in sexual activity. I am here to really talk about something that has come out. South Africans must judge for themselves. Something that is an audio recording. We know the voice. He never said that he was not in that office during office hours, and he has also not said to South Africans that it's not him in the audio, then we will have not focused on that. What we have focused on as the ANC is that we have taken out the audio to an expert to tell us if this audio is authentic. And the expert has come back and said, this is an authentic audio. Actually, it can be tested in a court of law. It can be put everywhere to be tested. We're saying that all the people who are saying that this thing is not authentic, they must test themselves. We have satisfied ourselves as the ANC that it's authentic. And we also know that this audio comes from the White Caucus of the DA. They have sent it to us. We received the audio yesterday morning, like all the other people. So the audio was produced within the DA, within their rank and file. That is the information that is coming. The allegation is that this is actually coming from their rank. So the ANC can't take responsibility whether the mayor is waffling like he did and obfuscating, because the issue here is not about the legality or illegality of how it was acquired. It's whether the things that they've said there affect the stability of the city, and the city stability has been affected because the mayor and the person involved are talking about the speaker, MMCs in the city, COOs, city managers, and executive directors who are running the city that are going to fire them. They say people are witches and many other things that are unspeakable that those people are engaged in there that conversation.
I want us to take an opportunity then to listen to this clip that was posted online a little earlier in the day, and it's the response that is being given by the Tshwane Mayor Stevens Mokgalapa and the Transport MMC Stella Sinkubore.
Why would I deny that? It was a conversation between two colleagues.
Between you and do you have a romantic relationship?
We don't at all. I don't know where that insinuation comes to, but I think that is a matter now of going into the merits of the case, because of colleagues talk all the time. Every colleague gossip with whoever colleague they have. You also gossip with your own colleague. Do you have a romantic relationship?
Why did you ask her, do I make you nervous?
Well, I mean, now we are talking about the investigations that will be coming, and those are the things that will be explained to the investigating officer when this matter is being addressed, because of then there will be a context that will be put forward to ensure that it is recorded in the proper context. At this point in time, that is why one of the charges is distortion, because of it is distorting the discussions.
And then just, ma'am, can you maybe give us comments?
All right, well, that's part of the response then that was given a little earlier in the day. Stevens Mokgalapa there and Sheila Sinkubure standing together as they were addressing the media. So are you saying that as the opposition in Tshwane, you simply aren't convinced by what, number one, the mayor is saying? And I wonder then how much gravity you place on the allegations that he's now brought forward, saying that this audio was actually being used to blackmail him and to try and extort money out of him or favors out of him in the Tshwane Council.
Look, the mayor mustn't obfuscate and talk and be and then experts will come out and say it's you or not. We are satisfied that it's the mayor and the MMC and the people that they are talking about are people in the city.
So then to the extent that he doesn't seem to be denying that it's not him in the video, but he's saying that this video has been used as a tool. Yes, this audio tape has been used as a tool to try and blackmail him. And to get favors from him by certain individuals that also include the reinstatement of 4 officials, I believe, who were dismissed or suspended from the city of Tshwane.
Okay, Cathy, I don't want us to be all over this. Let's talk about the audio. The audio is where the mayor and the MMC are engaging in sexual activity. We don't know about distortions. In the audio, they don't talk about distortions. They are talking about the Speaker of Council, which is the second office bearer after the mayor being a witch. So I don't know how the mayor is going to work with a witch into running the governance of the city. 2, of the city, who has to be fired and means must be made for him to leave. So that is not about a distortion. It's about the mayor saying that he's going to fire people. He say after a Denmark trip, and I want you to ask this, whether the Denmark trip was the city's trip or his own trip that he paid for himself, because we don't have records in the city where the city has sent the mayor to Denmark. He said after he comes back from there, he is going to fire certain people and he will be boom, boom, boom firing people. So that has nothing to do with distortion. He himself is saying in the audio that he's firing people. So it can now come out that the mayor is hiding behind this veil called the distortion. If there's some distortion, he must come out and name and shame the people who are doing the distortion and who took the audio. The ANC doesn't come into executive offices, so we don't know who took the audio. By the way, we can tell you that those offices that are alleged to be used for that are cities offices, and you are using your biometric to come in there. So the ANC did not have the biometric. Only staff and people working there and the MMC herself had the biometric to enter her office. So the ANC cannot take responsibility or even answer whether it's distortion or not. The mayor and the people who work there must answer, and not opposition party.
You talk about the fact that this video, at least as far as you received it, was from the White Caucus of the DA in the city. Why do you think they would give it to you?
They gave to us. Remember when Solim Simanga was there, the Black Caucus gave us information about Let Africa. The Black Caucus of the DA. Now, Mokgalapa belongs to the Black Caucus, unlike Soli, who belong to the White Caucus. Now, the White Caucus is giving us information to remove the Black Caucus. So the DA has its own cocktail of racial problems. There is a big problem in the City of Tshwane of corruption, but moreover, there's a bigger problem of racism in the DA caucus everywhere in the country. Musi Maimane has come out and said the DA is not the right vehicle to lead South Africa after a few months in May where he said it was the right vehicle. So we know that the problems in the DA, there's a cocktail of problem of racism, of corruption, but beyond this now, we see that there's a sex problem in the DA.
Sure. I mean, from the opposition benches, you know, as far as the problem is concerned, it's one thing to highlight it, but certainly for the ANC, it would, of course, as an opposition party, also make sense to further sow divisions and make allegations about the Democratic Alliance. So who exactly in the White Caucus gave you this video? Why should we believe that, in fact, you received this video from the DA's so-called White Caucus?
Cathy, South Africans are very sophisticated. They know the DA has a racial problem.
Yes, but why should we believe you? Because,
People
of course,
believe that
you have your own vested interest in making a statement like that.
People believe, South Africans believe there's racism in the DA. It's not whether the ANC...
But that's not... Who in the White Caucus of the DA is the one that shared this video?
I think Mokgalapa is best placed to answer your question on who are the factions. We're not members of the DA. The DA people, when they have factional problems, they come and deliver information.
But surely you know who you received the video from. I'm asking you.
No, the video was sent to me on WhatsApp like all other South Africans. But our sources in the ANC told us that the people who initially leaked the video come from the caucus of the DA, and they take the side of the White Caucus because they are fighting with the Black Caucus, which Mokgalapa is leading, and which is, now let me tell you something important. The White Caucus, in their leaking of this video, are also exposing, because Sheila is the person whose department has paid Glad Africa more than all the other departments. In 1 month last year, because we call her Miss Glad Africa in the city, she paid 141 million rand to Glad Africa in 1 month. So one of the things that the White Caucus was exposing was that the Black Caucus of the DA has been involved in a cocktail of corruption, and that's one thing that they wanted to do. So they wanted the opposition to know. So we don't have to take responsibility on their fights and who did it in particular. If they give it to us, gladly as the opposition, we accept it.
Are you at all satisfied with the response that the DA has given to this matter so far? They say they'll run an internal investigation and revert back to the city.
Cathy, the DA ran an internal investigation on Glad Africa as the second year now. Where is the outcome of that internal investigation? They've run many internal investigations on everything. They ran an internal investigation. I don't know in Tshwane, even the city manager could not answer on the Oricon 18 billion asset of the city scandal. They always run internal investigation. Now, we are not going to come here and say that the ANC is an angel, but we are saying the DA is incapable, it can't run the city of Tshwane, it has failed our people, they don't deliver services, they are instead involved internally in their own Paris politics that have damaged Tshwane, and instead of giving services, they're focused on themselves, they're focused on the cocktail of escapades of sex that now have come out to the public. So the ANC can't take responsibility. We are working towards 2021, and we'll make sure that we remove the DA in
And
power.
I certainly would believe that you're ready and standing by to return back to the seat in the city of Tshwane, as it were. The ANC's Kgosi Maepa there giving us his take. And of course, they started off this morning with what. Take a look then at the launch of the 16 days of activism against violence against women and children internationally, and what the local approach then will look like this year.